What is good, my TNA Wrestling fam? Welcome to another edition of TNAIW Reaction right here on the TNAIW channel. My name is G, and I want to thank you for allowing me on your screen, pressing play, hitting like and subscribe. We'll see how this goes. But either way, given this a chance, I thank you as we head into Hard to Kill. A lot of exciting things to talk about, some negatives, a lot of positives, and a lot of what the fuck's going on. So we'll hit all that. Hopefully we can leave off here on a good note and build back that excitement for Hard to Kill. But they're doing that on their own as well. Releasing a new X Division title and leading up to Hard to Kill. We'll see a new belt each day, except for that one little break before January 13th, I think it was, the Knockouts tag. Either way, we got that going on. We're going to talk about depth charts as well, hopefully spew a little positivity there. Go over the Hard to Kill card predictions as well, and then Black Taurus and Deonna leaving us, and Trinity possibly as well, but who also could be joining us. So we'll hit up all that in comments as well. But if you don't like what you see, you don't like what you hear, no offense taken. Make sure you go find another TNA Impact Wrestling content creator, because there's a lot out there, and all are trying to build the brand for this company. So let's keep that going. Let's keep the momentum going, and let's start off by talking about that X Division title. So when I saw it, we got some graphics here. Did a little work today. Don't mind me. But we got Chris Sabin revealing the TNA X Division Championship. When I first saw it, my first thoughts were, I had quite a few. For the positive, I like the tint of it. It's a very old TNA tag and that era of belts. So I dig that. I dig the red and the yellow and the black. I like the colors being integrated in there. It looks, from this picture, so at this point, let me, behind the curtain here, I gave it a 7 out of 10. What does it matter? But that's what I gave from this picture here in the little video they had. With the plates, when they do it like that, detailed or not, raised or not, or engraved or not, they get mushy. In this picture, you could tell it's a little mushy. But we'll continue. Oh, the other thing, the one other gripe I had was the little mustache scroll, the black mustache scroll. Our buddy Bert said it's because they're getting ready for Trent Seven to win it, but. I don't know, wasn't a fan. But then I saw these. Oh, not technical difficulty. There we go. All right. And I thought, hey, even better. I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. What do you guys think? I think it's going to depend on how they come off on camera. But the cubic zirconia and the X border there around it really sold me. I like the plates on the side. It does really integrate all the different looks throughout the years. So I don't want to make this comparison because I hated this belt that I'm about to mention, but the Jeff Hardy belt, it looks like that same era, like right before then, right? But it does kind of have that look. Anyways, what do you guys think? That's most important. Let me know. I saw a lot of great feedback from it. Oh, the font too, the Total Nonstop Action font there. The X being back is cool. Gets kind of muffled in there, with everything else, but muddled. It's going to be an episode, guys. But either way, we're going to have some fun. What do you guys think of the belt? Let me know in the comments. We're going to have a big Hard to Kill show on the 14th. Lucha will be there. Johnny will be there. Maybe another guest. And we're going to have a live review party. So make sure you add us at TNA or twitch.tv/TNAIW channel. And we'll answer all your questions as well. Next up, I have depth charts, and the reason I'm doing that is I think from the little comments I saw between YouTube and the few seconds I was on Twitter, X, a lot of oh no, what's happening kind of thing. Where's our roster? And the optimism train is here, my friends. Should we be optimistic completely about everything going on and all of the people leaving? No, obviously we don't want to see these people leave, but I want to flip it and show you what we do have, and go from there. So let's start with the X Division title, and I'm naming 4 people. Obviously, not a single one is the champion, Chris Sabin. I'm trying to use everyone for one division, so I don't even have Motor City in here, but I think with Kushida, it plays to the same thing. Time Machine can kind of be utility players for every division, and I mean, nearly every division. But when I look at depth charts, I'm looking at who are the 4 contenders up that can be viable, that could win tomorrow, and then on an 86 to 92 television or minute show, produce and seem like a credible champion's opponent. Remember, we don't need 6, 7, 8 people on this depth chart for contention at all times. And with even taking Chris Sabin out here, Mike Bailey, Kushida, Gresham, Alan Angels, I think they're going to step up as well. I think we're in a good place. Do we have other people that you're going to say, well, what about this person, Geoff? You didn't put that person. What about this person? That's what I want you to say. That's the point of this, right? We're not in as bad place as I think most of you think we are. And I understand why. You see people leaving, coming out that door, and we don't know who's coming in. I get it. But once again, with the amount of time we have, how many contenders do we need per belt? And that's what I want you guys to ask yourself. Do we want more and collect them like Infinity Stones or like Pokemon cards like Tony does because he can? If that's your bag. But I'm looking for people not to be in catering, knock out their position, and be ready to step up when their time is called. And those 4 always deliver. Next up, we're doing male tag team depth. That was weird, but I put Motor City here because you could do Time Machine in any capacity. Could always fill a spot there. We got the Rascals and we have ABC. Both ABC Motor City, or all ABC Motor City and the Rascals can do, once again, they could do all the divisions, I believe. But trying to use everyone in one, here's what I got. Obviously, the tag team champions are included, but that's because I feel the depth here is a little unknown. We got these 3, which is a damn great place to start. And then we have teams like The Design and Good Hands, Myers and Eddie, I don't know, that could kind of fill in that 4 to 5 gap when we need them. But I always like to have 4 possible contenders so you can have a 4-way match or number 1 contenders, whatever. But we also have, and this is what I forgot to mention last week, Grizzled Young Vets coming in. Are they signed? Doesn't look like so. But it looks like we're at least kicking the tires on some people, seeing how they like us, how we like them, and vice versa. And I think that's a good place. Would I like a signed team to be that 4th one? Of course. But we have the Grizzled Young Vets. Is Subculture still with us? Danny Luna signing. Are we going to see them announce their signings? I think there's going to be a lot of things that come together at Hard to Kill, and they're just holding the cards in their hand. They don't want to show them, man. But either way, we start with those 3 tag teams, and we continue. But once again, I think we're in a good place. The DMC, I have 5, and you can name more, obviously. But for me, the digital media depth, and this doesn't even show Crazy Steve or the current champion, Tommy Dreamer. But these 5 guys are what I think the division should be. I think if you don't take the X division route, you could take the digital media route, both on that level or that level before becoming world champion. And I like that for this because you have a lot of heavyweights, per se, and Rich, I think, can obviously play in both. Jake, Kaz, Eddie, I guess they all could play in both, but for the purpose of doing this. So I think there's a lot of depth there, and this is where I want to go. I want to go with the guys who are on the cusp of that world title. This is our Intercontinental to me. And I want people that can be the workhorses, but in a different capacity than the total nonstop action workhorses that are in the X division. So once again, I think we're good here. So if Tommy's okay to lose the belt, it's going to be okay. There's other hands that it could go to, if that's what you guys were all worrying about. Now this one, I understand where everyone's at. KO Tag Team Death. We've had depth. I was saying Death Dolls, not being... All right. But MK Ultra's there. We're going to talk about the KO world in just a second, but when we talk about depth as well and this here, they all kind of play hand in hand because we don't know what we're getting, and that's what I'm showing you guys. I'm showing if everyone that we say is gone tomorrow, and if the champions aren't included, what do we have, right? I guess MK Ultra's the champions, but you get my point. MK Ultra can solve that Knockouts world title lack of depth, which we'll hit in a second, with one split up. What does that do to the tag team? That's what, tag team depth, it depletes it completely. But I think there's going to be a lot of people that come in that answer the questions for us. You also got to remember that Rosemary keeps popping up in these TNA adverts, which makes a lot of sense to me. I think if we were to sit here and write top 10 TNA originals, like homegrown talents or products, Rosemary's definitely on that list for me. Charismatic, different, unique, and always entertaining. So I see her going back to Rosemary. Does that mean Jess goes back to Havoc? I would assume so, but I would love if this is where we kind of start splitting some. Love the Death Dolls. But could we see a Rosemary and Bunny team come together while Havoc maybe joins with a Su Yung maybe? Or even goes on a World Knockouts World title run for herself. I just think we have a lot of opportunities to play around here, to define some women who don't have roles yet. Meanwhile, and I mean that when we have Danny Luna coming in, Xia Brookside, we don't know what she's doing. Jody's kind of been always mingling around, and I don't want to get too far ahead of the others because we're going to get to KO World. But I think they have enough depth that if someone doesn't come in, even though I hope someone does, that they can play around it and shake up the roster a bit. I mean, Masha and Killer Kelly are both on the path. Well, I don't know about on the path, but they have the potential, we can all agree on that, to be world champions tomorrow. Could you make the same play for Rosemary and Havoc, both former champions? I think so. So I think we have some championships to play around with. Don't want to keep going on too much about it, but I don't think it's bad as we all want to say, but I see why when we're looking at two pictures of two teams. Remember, Shaw Taraj is out now as well, with Savannah Evans, I think, getting surgery on her knee, if I'm not mistaken. Someone let me know, but either way, she's out. I see Kylan here, which makes me remember that she obviously is out as well, not in the Ultimate X. So we do have some injuries to take into consideration as well. But I think they're going to smooth out the roster after Hard to Kill. But with the Knockouts World depth, if Trinity's gone, these are our four main players in my eyes. Giselle, Jordan, Kai Lynn, and Tasha getting back into the groove of things. So I don't think it's in that bad of a place. Do we want a big name to come in and take that spot for I don't know, I can't decide if I want to say from Deonna and Trinity, if that's the case. Of course. Would a Mercedes be great there? Of course. But I think there's a lot of people that haven't been getting the time for one reason or another, or deserve the spotlight, pun intended, that we can really elevate and round out the roster with, even if we just stick with our newest signings. Now remember, look, there's people that you're going to say, well, what about Lish? I would love if Lish was consistently in something. I know she's in the first match with Eddie and Myers, or at least, with Eddie, of course. But she's also an Ultimate X. So, even though I love that pairing of her and Eddie, of course, when's her time to shine? Is that with someone that she's a perennial tag team champion with? Jody's got to find her footing. We mentioned that. You got Danny coming in. Subculture's not coming too. Are we featuring her right away? So there's a lot of talent to play with. And last but not least, we got world title depth. I put Motor City because it's one of those things, even though I'm breaking my own rule, I've already done it about 5 times, of using this, same people twice. I think if Alex Shelley wins or loses, there's a play in here for Chris Sabin to also be in that world title picture. I think there's a really cool play for Shelley losing, going to X or Tag, and then Sabin. I just would love to see Motor City or Time Machine used all over the place, and it not be a downgrade that Shelley. You know what I mean? Shelley only got that one X Division run, and I think it was only for a few months. So I would love to see maybe him go down there as well. So you could a lot of people to play with. That's the point of all this, right? Steve Macklin, obviously his wife left. Does that mean they're going to... I don't think they take it out on them. I saw a bunch of that stuff. Oh, he's in the first match because of... we'll see. But should he be in this contention? I believe so. Moose, obviously going for the world title. My money's on him winning. And then Josh Alexander, who, of course, is the standard of TNA. Now, is this where we see the world change whatever thing and the newest acquisition come in? I don't know, guys. as far as the worlds collide, that's what it is. I still think we're going to get ready to fly. Too much lone wolf talk, too much AJ opening the last episode of Impact as getting the first loss in TNA history, and then AJ at the end as well, if I'm not mistaken. Unbreakable. There's a lot there. Obviously, there's a lot of our history, so could it be coincidence? Yeah, but I'm gonna bet on that. And one other thing from the Impact episode I wanted to mention when we got to KO tags. It was interesting that EY talked about the KO tag run. Mentioned ODB, kind of try to, make amends with that a little bit. So it was interesting. I thought that was interesting as well. But we're talking about the big signing. After seeing the Wanted Man, Nick Nemeth thing, I still welcome Dolph. I think Tommy kind of was talking about, he's someone you could build a company around. He's someone you could build a company around. It was really interesting writing or wording from him on Busted Open. Still think Mercedes a chance, but if I were looking at these depth charts and then looking at the KO world, which one, I'll leave it for you guys. Which one would you rather the big signing come from? The Knockouts world or the Males world? Let me know. I'm going to leave it off on that because we got a lot more to hit, and I am rambling on as usual. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and keep coming back. All right. Next up is Hard to Kill, and we're going to run through that. We talked about Rich and Macklin being the first match there. Regardless of the whole Macklin whatever thing, I think Macklin gets this win. I think it's time to reestablish him as a world contender, and a banger with Rich, because what else are you going to get from Rich, would be a good place to start. Could I see him losing? Yes, and that's what I'm afraid of. I think Rich is one of those people that can win, lose, draw. It doesn't matter. He's still Rich Swann. The allure isn't gone. Macklin, I think, needs to start stacking those dubs, laying those bodies, right? We talked about Eddie and Myers as well, because they're with Lish, and they're going to take on two TNA originals, EY and Kaz. I see the happy ending here, EY and Kaz, unless it looks like they're going with Eddie and Myers, especially with Moose being in the world title match. I put quotation because I didn't know what I was going to say. I was going to say world title picture. I think he's going to be world champion. Prediction, I would go TNA Originals here. Even though they might be trying to build Eddie and Myers. You know what? Honestly, I could be 0-2 already. I don't care. But I'm going to go EY and Kaz. And then the DMC is on the line. Tommy versus Crazy Steve. I think they... I don't care. I'm going to say I don't care. I'm so excited that I don't care, but Crazy Steve should win here. But also, those other 5 contenders that I posted up there, from Rich to Eddie to everyone else, to Kaz, to EY even, or Myers, I didn't put them on there. They deserve a run with it too, or again. You know. Now we're talking about the main card. We have 7 matches announced, so I think some room to play. KO tag not being one. I find it interesting they're releasing the KO tag not Friday, but the day of, so Saturday of Hard to Kill, and they don't have a match yet. I don't know if that's going to be the starting point. Someone walks into the reveal of the tag belts and they come in and challenge. Look out for that, maybe not. Either way, I still think we get a KO tag match or a KO tag challenge, open challenge on the card. But with that being said, we're starting off with the tag team titles. ABC defending against the Rascals. Speedball Mountain. Ugh, that's almost as bad as the Wanted Man. I'm not for that. And then the Grizzled Young Vets. This is tough. ABC walks in with the tag titles. I think to continue the rivalry, it'd be interesting if Rascals are the one to take it off them right away. So they're walked in as day one TNA tag team champions. The Rascals walked out as day one tag team champions. But I wouldn't be surprised if they, depending on where this is in the card, if they put it on someone that will pop us. Would that be Speedball Mountain? Would it be Grizzled Young Vets? That'd be interesting. But I think we all kind of want people that are signed within the company. And I'm going to skip ahead to one that kind of plays along with that, the X Division title as well. Oh, my prediction, I'm going to go ABC. I know there's a better chance for them to lose, but I'm going to go ABC. For the X Division title, we have Sabin, Vikingo, and Kushida. I'm going to be bad with these predictions because there's so little story, well, very little story building up to these, right? So we're kind of just going off of who do I want to win, what makes sense, where can I see them as a launching pad into the new TNA era. I don't want them to take it off Sabin. I'm going to say that. This more so than the tag or any other title, could I see them switching for Buzz? And obviously here with Vikingo, that's the one that sticks out to me. But I hope Sabin keeps it. Speaking of someone who's not signed yet, see a lot of people saying, he better come out with that, Scott better come out with that contract. Let's all remember here that they're putting together a show, testing the waters with some of the talent. Doesn't mean they don't want to sign him. But what does that talent want to do as well? So let's pump the brakes on the, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Of course they want to sign Alex Hammerstone, and that's where I'm going with this. But Josh Alexander's taken on Alex Hammerstone, someone we've, have spoke about consistently with MLW contract running up, about a guy who could just come in here and be, do you even start DMC? You're throwing him against Josh here? I don't know, man. He's a talented dude. But does he stick around? We'll see. I expect this to be a banger and Josh taking it. But if Hammerstone wins this, that is I don't know if Josh would still, well, I guess he'd be laid out flat to sign it on, but that would be a moment. And you give it, Josh another rival. But either way, I hope he sticks around. Excited to see this match and excited to see that it was announced. One of those 25, well, or after Christmas, but days of Christmas of keeping the buzz going in different ways. We got Ultimate X, the second Knockouts one ever. Giselle Shaw, Zaya, Brookside, who said she's excited not only to be in this, but prove she should be a knockout. Interesting play there. Tasha Steeles, the first winner back in this one, makes sense. Lish, Danny Luna, and Jody Threat. Now, the Lish one's intriguing, and I hope Lish gets her shine here. Very talented, want her to be their tag or something. Always be relevant in the divisions. She deserves that, man. She's been a team player for way too long, and things she hit out this last year, she knocked out of the park. But I could see something where Lish gets hurt on the, I hate saying pre-card, the pre-card, that's what we'll call it. The countdown, the hour-long countdown. If she gets hurt or inadvertently hit, and we need someone else to join this Ultimate X, that would be interesting. I could see that happening, but no hopes up, just ideas, manifestation. Dango versus PCO. This is going to be manifestation as well, or wishful thinking. Lucha mentioned this on the show, the last one, about this is obviously where someone's going to come out. There's a group advantage, right, with PCO. I don't know if you want to call it a group advantage, but it's him, Alpha Bravo, and, the other guy. And they're facing off against PCO. I'm guessing this is going to be anything goes, but who comes out to help PCO? There's got to be, right? 3-on-1. There's got to be a reason this match was put together. Is it 3 people he could just put through tables? Sure. But I feel like it's one of those things where, he gets the PCO Hulk up. All that stuff happens. But I'd be interested if someone came in and maybe was, I don't know, PCO's new handler. I still think it'd be funny if he was in a Team Canada or something like that. But this would be a cool place for Sammy to come back, right? Be in charge of the monster. He's always got a monster, if it's Fulton or not. So I don't know. But either way, look for something wonky to come here, or at least some kind of spot that pops us, right? So I'm cool with it. And then we have our 2 world title matches, starting with the Knockouts. Trinity, I know we'll talk about her in the comments. But even before this report came out, or this news, what shitty time for it to leak too. Interesting. But Trinity is going to defend against Jordan. And even before this came out, I thought Jordan was going to turn heel and take this. Now, what we alluded to and talked about who could come out for the Knockouts to whatever. I spoke about Camille and stuff prior. Obviously, it looks like she's headed to NXT per reports. Who knows? But would she be a big enough signing to come? Maybe to face off with Jordan right away. Yes, that's true. But this just feels like a spot for Mercedes if that's the big signing. too many things align, especially if Jordan turns and Trinity's leaving. I still think it would be great if this was all just everyone riling the sheets and both of them are staying and we get a whole ride with Trinity and Mercedes, but wishful thinking, right? Either way, I'm going with Jordan here. Even if Trinity stays, a heel Jordan helps this division when there's maybe not too many valid contenders left. That's obviously without Mercedes or Trinity sticking around, but still, either way, I think it's a smart move to put the belt on Jordan. Unless Trinity's staying, then we'll talk about it. But she has run through everyone, right? I don't know. That's where I'm kind of twisted, anyways. And last but not least is the world title, Shelly versus Moose. I've already said it a couple times here. I'm going with Moose. He looks great. Nothing against Shelly whatsoever. But this feels like a moment to I don't know, man. It feels like a moment that something's going to happen as well. I already know something that's going to happen with, or said possibly with Trinity and Jordan. But this feels like a big moment. It's the last match, I imagine. I don't know. What do you guys think? The shark point? Is it AJ? I don't know. I can't see. That's the one thing, and that's I know everyone's like, no, Josh has this match. It's not AJ. I can't see, even if when he comes, that he would take on someone that's a Josh and win. So I can't see him coming out and challenging Moose. But wouldn't that be some shit? I don't know. All right, guys. Before we get onto your comments quick, I just want to make a mention. Black Taurus off the roster page. So obviously didn't see him anywhere on our depth charts. He's been playing around with ROH and AEW. Looks like he's going to sign there. He's been a free agent even when he was with us and AAA. So it looks like he was waiting for a bigger opportunity. Good for him. Talented dude. Get your money and enjoy your time there. Speaking of that, Deonna, look, we talked about it, guys, and I know there'll be some comments on it, but I'm going to say my piece first and foremost. She deserves whatever she can get. Get that money. I feel she's in that Will Ospreay category where, look, do you want to go to the E and work that many days and trust them to? Okay, maybe not. Do you want to go to AEW, pick up a huge paycheck, and then if they fuck you around on storylines, hey, at least I'm so credible in the ring, my allure won't go away? I think Deonna's on that level. So let her make her money. She said it was a dream come true. I don't think she means AEW. I just make the moment and stuff. But more power to her. I think at the end of the day, you can have the biggest dick in the world. If you don't know how to use it, what's the point of it? And I think that's a lot with Tony Khan. So I'm not nervous. And that's why I'm keeping my zen about everything, guys. Not only do we have some depth, but we have the ability. We have people out there in the wrestling profession that know that if you come to Impact TNA, they'll know what to do with you. They'll find something to do with you. They'll utilize your positives and minimize your negatives. And that's a selling point for us. At the same time, when people go away and make their paycheck and then say, I want a little bit of that again, they always could come back home. I don't know. I'm just not really stressing it, guys. I think we use our talent right for the most part. I know you guys would say otherwise, but I think there's a lot of things that go into those things, including contracts. But, Tony's going to free agent hunt as he can, as he said. He's going to scoop up whatever he can. But when those contracts run up, the money's good, yes. But if you're in your mid-30s and you made your money and you want to try something, where you have some say and you can paint your masterpiece, I think Impact's that place. And I think the people in the industry know that. That's what I'm trying to say. Moving on. All right, let's get into the comments, guys, and let's get you out of here. Thank you for rocking me. Once again, hit like and subscribe. See a piece of fuzz and I can't tell if it's... Oh, no. Just... All right. All right. Another one, Parkside 15 Millard. Happy New Year's to TNA staff, TNA, and all the TNA wrestling fans. I'm very excited about the upcoming year of TNA. Thank you, Geoff and Lucha. The both of you brought so much joy and excitement to all of us this past year. You guys are very much appreciated. Thank you, buddy. Feel like your attitude kind of changes a little bit as these comments go on, but I appreciate you very much Very, very much. Roger Pace, Happy New Year, guys. No more negative channels saying TNA doesn't have money for top talent or talking down the company because of the past stigma of the name TNA. Don't sleep on the company because other companies will get caught with their pants down, period. Pounce, period. Be all right. Yes, no, fuck yeah, man. I'm with you. Look, was never a negative channel here. Obviously, I'm the beacon of positivity. But even I had to do a dive into the money aspect of Impact and Anthem before. We aren't a billion-dollar company. Let's not get it twisted. We're not going to go out and have a bidding war with Tony and win, most likely. We have those other things that I was trying to say that help us sell our point, not just the money. But it is great to know that they're, once again, they get out of the red, they get into the black, they spend that black. Boom, boom, boom. They keep going, man. They keep investing and reinvesting. And to hear them earmarking big money for free agents or for new belts or for new entranceways and all these different things, guys, that they're doing, it is a huge plus. So maybe they don't have the billions to go out and do whatever, but they're spending correctly. And after Hard to Kill, I think we'll agree. But I am with you. We're not an indie. But we need to sell some tickets, so buy some tickets, people, so we can keep reinvesting into. Thank you, Roger, for that. Next up, is it Sharima? Is it she? Rim? Sharam. Let me know, man. As a Jeffrey with a G, I like to know how to pronounce people's names. Let me know. But Geoff, it has always been TNA. Yes, it has. That's the spirit. What I keep saying, Impact. It's hard. Look, I'm a day oneer, man. Converting to Impact Wrestling and Let's Go Impact was hard as shit. I need some time. I'm trying. I don't know how many Impact Wrestlings I said here, but I'm trying. But yes, it's always been TNA in my heart too. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's to you as well. I think these are the first comments I've seen from you, so thank you. And keep commenting, man. Mullard again. Geoff, what's the odds Trinity is in the Royal Rumble before last TNA match is shown on TV? Yeah, if she's out and loses and then, cleans up at the Hard to Kill tapings or whatever. What are they called? Not the Bayou one. Snake Eyes. Hey. Snake Eyes looking great too. But if she finishes up there, they're going to play out. Royal Rumble will appear before those debut. I hate that shit. It's such a Tony move, and I know it's WWE, so maybe we win here, and maybe she goes there, but she at least is the Knockouts champion when she debuts in the Rumble. I don't know, man. I'm pulling at straws. Yeah, I think it's very likely it happens. And it sucks that it does. And I can't just put that all on Tony, because it's happened in WWE too. TNA Impact has a very long history of things like that happening. The Rumble is on the 27th of January. Maybe Xia Brookside and Camille can bring a different dimension. Xia, yeah, if she's great, man, would love to see her signed. Camille, once again, I need to see what she does in front of my eyes. I'm not up to snuff on Brookside. As far as Camille, yeah, I do believe she brings a different dimension to the roster. It just looks like she's on her way at NXT, but once again, who knows what the sheets say, why they say them, or who leaks it to them on purpose or not. So we'll see. The women's roster is getting smaller over the last few months. Taylor, Mickey, Deonna, Trinity. Yeah, if all leave, I agree. I think Taylor, if she's healthy, could come back in the tag title division, and that would be great. Mickey, I wouldn't be surprised if she returns. Once again, if you can't buy buzz, create your own. But I could see her in the Royal Rumble too. Look, that's one thing, guys, we got to remember. We can't rest on our laurels anymore. We might have a little bit of money. We might be the place that really has always put the knockouts, the women, first. And that doesn't change. But at the same time, the other places are catching on, and they got the right mindset. Let's scoop up what we can, and even if we don't use them right, hey, at least we have them on our roster and not on TNA. So it sucks, but... yeah, I hope the Knockouts depth chart helped you out, my friend. Put you at ease a little bit. Shadowlanes 94. It's interesting. The same AEW fans, for whatever reason, that hate Impact, love that they signed Deonna, even though they trashed her on her wrestling style and thought she was boring in her match with Martinez in AEW a while back. That match was all weird energy, man. It was a bunch of LDE in the crowd that couldn't applaud Deonna being there. I didn't like it. I feel the hypocrisy too, but who cares, man? That's on them. Because at the end of the day, they know in their heart of hearts, if people were to scroll through their feeds, how much one way they felt about Deonna and now how they feel about it different. So whatever. Let them be judged by someone else. Other AEW fans said they have no idea who she is because they would never watch Impact but now think she is great. Yeah, right? Sheep will show themselves. I mean, to be fair, Miss Jackie would look like Gail in the current AEW women's division. First of all, you best be talking about Miss Jackie Gata because Miss Jacqueline crush all of that division. But I get your point. Thank you. Another one from you, my friend. I knew Deonna was most likely leaving, but I thought Trinity would stay a little bit longer than that. The fact that Trinity went through the entire division most likely is going to leave seems just as pointless as Kenny Omega's run as Impact champ. Unless talents are signed, they should not hold the title. Hopefully Jordan turns heel and defeats Trinity in 20 seconds. Let's backtrack. Trinity in 20 seconds. I get it. But let's keep the LD. We don't need that, man. Jordan turns heel. I'm with you. Don't agree that unsigned talents should hold the title. I'm with you there now too. Kenny Omega run, I don't agree. We were at a different place where that rub really did help, even if they couldn't out loud cheer us. They did watch. They did pay attention. They did. It did cleanse us a little of that stink, I'll say. But Trinity being signed and rocking with us for nearly, well, not nearly a year, but a good chunk of, what is it, 9 months? It was a lot less. Well, that'll change. But I don't know. I think this is totally different, man. Not only it wasn't just about getting rid of the stink, this was a big time signing. It was a big time exciting move for Impact, or at the time. It sold tickets, it got people excited, people that would never watched. So I guess kind of the same thing, but in a different aspect, because we had her signed and we felt like she was going to be here. I don't think she made anyone look weak except Deonna. And we know why that happened. So, I don't know. I don't agree with that, but I get the sentiment. If they can't sign Hammerstone, Nick, or Camille, what signing could still be a big signing for TNA? Yeah, that's a tough one, man. As far as the big signing they're saying, to me, it has to be an Okada. It has to be a Nick Nemeth, which I think more so it is. Or it has to be Mercedes. Mercedes, Okada, or Nick. I think that's the only ones that can be on that level of a Christian angle. That's absurd to me even still, but, you know. And as far as Hammerstone, I really hope he sticks around, but he's at the beginning of his free agency. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he fits right in and is like, fuck yeah, man. Offer me this and we're good to go. But, yeah, it's going to be hard. I don't have an answer for you as far as who could they sign that would fit that. I think Mustafa Ali would be another great addition, a buzzworthy dude for that X division. The more and more I see hype too, on top of that, makes me feel solidified in that. But as far as that big signing, it needs to be one of those three in my eyes. Also, who is Josh going to face? Got that answered, my friend. Thank you. We got Millard again. Geoff, I think the name Scott is talking about being on the goal line and being one of the biggest signings since Kurt Angle is Zack Sabre Jr. TNA is going all in as of late and signing wrestlers from the UK. I agree. It seems like Canada, UK, anyone who needs a working visa will make it happen. It's one of those things. We're finding our niche. And if that's our niche, then so be it. P.S. Zack just lost the World TV title to Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. Look, I like Zack Sabre Jr. I thought he was interesting. I think he brings great wrestling. Kind of alpaca-ish to me. So I don't really... The look isn't really there for me. What does that matter, right? But as far as this is our big signing, this is our big get, and it's Zack Sabre Jr., I don't think that's... That ain't kosher for me, my friend. Now, is it a good signing? Yeah, even if he looks like an alpaca. It doesn't matter. We all look like something. But he's a talented dude. I just don't see him being, if we're talking big money, that 1B or 1A to Josh's. I don't see that. I don't see it. But talented, I understand. I'm saying stupid shit. Dave Wisher, this might be late, but Happy New Year. May 2024 be a neat year. Thank you, my friend. I agree. I think that's the last one, and it's never too late, and it's never too late to jump on the TNA bandwagon as well, guys. Look, I know there's a lot of pessimism out there. It's hard to be optimistic when you see these great talents, Black Taurus, Deonna, Camille maybe going elsewhere, Trinity going elsewhere, Hammerstone maybe only popping in. So I get it. But let's look forward to 113. Let's see what they produce. Let's let them answer some of the questions we have. Let's look at these depth charts and say, oh, we're not in a bad place to where we can pop some great people in here, reconfigure some stuff, and still have a great roster, even if we only get 1 name, 2 names out of the group, right? All right. Well, either way, guys, I hope it helped you. I hope you had a good time. I hope my rambling wasn't, one shot, 40 minutes. What are you going to do? If you like what you see, press like, press subscribe, and if you don't, do the same and go check out everyone else's. All right, guys. Thank you. Look forward to twitch.tv/TNAIW channel. January 14th, 8 p.m. live. Let's go. Let's have a good time. Let's have a great Hard to Kill. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.